So what is the best lesson that I've learned about money? That's a really good question. Money has been a focus of my business, really trying to make revenue, and for many years trying to break 6 figures. Now I'm at a place where I've broken 7 figures, and I want to share with you all the lessons that I've learned, so hopefully you can not make some of the mistakes that I have and you can have the same success. So whenever I make a video like this, I want to try and share information that's unique to me that you maybe haven't heard somewhere else before. The phrase that I'm going to say, money is the exchange of value, that's a phrase that we hear all over the place. I want to kind of share what that means to me and why I'm talking about it here. When we buy something, right, we have money that we use and we're buying something of value and we give money for that as an exchange, right? So we use that money to exchange value, to trade goods or to trade services. But now we can take it to another level. We can control the value that something has by the price we give it. So here's an example. If I create a course and I sell that course and I tell people, yeah, this course is going to help you accomplish these results. The cost of this course is $100. Then there's a certain value assigned to that. They kind of comprehend what $100 is, the value of that. It's obviously less than $1,000 or whatnot, but it's more than $10. They know what they've also purchased for that equivalent amount. They know if they go to the grocery store, what they can expect to come home if they spend $100. So they will value my course at an equivalent level. And if you've ever bought a course for $100, how seriously did you take it? How much did you value the information in that course? You know, courses nowadays are digital, but sometimes I like to just picture a physical product. Let's say it's a DVD course that I bought. And so I've got this binder, maybe with some DVDs in there. And I'm like, okay, I've got this course. It's $100. I'm excited to try that. And I set it on my shelf so that I can access it pretty easily. But over time, it's like, yeah, I'm excited to get to that. Days pass, weeks pass. It was a $100 course. I'm only expecting $100 of value from it. I might not even open the thing. Or if I do, if I start watching it, I might skip ahead and jump around. Like, I wonder what piece in here is going to be valuable to me. Okay, now let's contrast that. What if the course was $1,000? I paid $1,000 for the course. Would I value it more, or would we value a course more? Because what we buy for $1,000 is a lot more than what we can buy for $100. If we just use the grocery store example, we'd be coming home with some large maybe a couple shopping carts worth of things. Let's go a step further. What if the course was $10,000? If I set it on my shelf, how long would it stay there before I opened it up? I'm much more likely to open it and actually dive in because I've exchanged a lot more value for it, and therefore I value the course more. And when I'm going through the course, when I'm watching the videos, doing the assignments, I'm going to pay more attention. I'm going to make more effort. I'm going to take the assignments more seriously. Imagine a $100,000 course. If I were to invest $100,000 in a course, I would take that course very seriously. I don't think I would set it on the shelf. I think as soon as I got it, I would open it up because I'm making a big sacrifice. I'm making a big investment. My exchange of value is a lot higher. So now let me give you a real example from my past. Going back 13 years ago, I started a web design company, and the cost of my custom website design service was $500. And I went for many years at this price point. And I started to notice that there were customers that when they found out the price, they would leave. They knew that there was a certain value exchange, or they had a certain expectation of quality, and they didn't think they could get it for such a small price. And that made me curious. It's like, really? You're going to pass up paying a lower price? I thought about it for a while, and I decided I'm going to raise my prices. Now, I actually quadrupled my price. The same web design service, it had gotten better over the years, in fact, more efficient, better at delivering results. So now my website design service increased from $500 to $2,000. And I noticed something. I got less complaints. I had less people debate with me or about price. They didn't try and ask for a discount or for any type of deal. It wasn't what I was expecting, but it was definitely a pleasant surprise. And obviously, my profit margins went up. I didn't really have the highest of profit margins on the $500 website, but being able to quadruple it, that additional $1,500 was basically now added profit into the business. So I was a lot more comfortable. I didn't have to take on as many clients, but I actually didn't see numbers go down. I just saw the quality of clients come through and the quality of our conversations, the level of respect, it went up. So another big lesson that I've learned about money is the definition of profit. Now I've talked about this in other episodes, so I'll just summarize it quickly here. I used to think that if you had this much revenue and you had this much expenses, including my paycheck, if those numbers were even, I thought that was a profitable business. What I've learned since, in about the last 5 years, I've learned that what's on top of that is actually profit. That if you have a break-even business, that your business is at zero. You're not in the negative, but you're not in the green either. You don't have any profit. So in order to have profit, you've got to have all your expenses, your income, and on top of that, you need additional revenue that can go into savings or something like that. And that's what a profitable business is. That was a big lesson to learn. Another lesson that I learned is coupons and discounts. Now, I grew up with a mom who loves discount shopping, who loves collecting coupons. My wife, for a long time, was the same way. But when I created my business and I started offering services and I felt what it was like on the receiving end, like people wanting discounts, I'm like, I don't really like this. This is the amount that I set that I think is the best price, the most value, and people are asking for a discount or they're wanting a coupon code or something like that. And so I decided to change my mindset and think about it from that perspective when I was making a purchase, realizing that if I go somewhere and I ask for a discount, or if I use a coupon for something, that means that I'm cutting into their profit margins and it's less likely that they will be successful. So it's been about a decade that I've changed that mindset. I don't use coupons. I don't negotiate. When people tell me a price, sometimes I know I'm overpaying, but I feel good about paying that price because then in return, when I tell people what my services cost and they ask for a discount, I just say, yeah, I don't offer discounts. Now, one other lesson that I learned that was a shift for me. I grew up to where we didn't get dessert when we went to the restaurant, or when we're in the checkout line and we see the candy bar there that we really want, that we don't buy those things. That's how I grew up in kind of that mindset. And I want to turn that around and to illustrating that with like Doordash or Instacart. Because instead of like trying to get the most bang for my buck with groceries and not being tricked by the things on the checkout line or buying dessert, at the restaurant, now I recognize the value of my time, especially when I'm working and there's a certain dollar amount that my time is worth. If I were to take that time to go to the grocery store, and then how much am I saving versus just using Instacart and picking the things and having somebody deliver that to me? As simple of a transition as that was actually a hard one for me to make, to really, I tried Instacart, loved it, but I thought, man, I'm paying a lot more though for the delivery fee and the Instacart fee and the tip. But when I weigh the opportunity cost of me going to the store and getting those things myself, that's actually a lesson that I've learned about money. Okay, one final lesson about money that I've learned that I've actually packed into this book. I've learned a way to really leverage YouTube to make money much more efficiently. A friend of mine who had a YouTube channel, and at the time of this conversation, he had 11 million subscribers, and he was making between $300,000 and $400,000 per month. And yet, on the other hand, a channel that me and my client made, we had 60,000 subscribers, but we were making $600,000 per month. So 11 million, making $300,000 to $400,000 a month, and our 60,000 subscriber channel was making $600,000 per month. Over the years, I've refined that strategy. I figured out how you can make about $10,000 for every 100 views, and I've packed all of that strategy into this book that I want to give to you as my gift. I charge you the cost, so as long as you pay the printing cost and the fee to ship it to you, there's no profit to me. This is my gift to you. Go to natesyoutubebook.com.